deep. Yeah. In every heart, there's a light to shine. Hope for them ministries. One step at a time. Educate minds. Let the knowledge flow. Together we can help our community grow. Bishop equip, evangelize. With faith in our hearts, we'll rise to the skies. Hope for them ministry, spreading the word. Join us in the mission. Let your voice be heard. Evangelize, hope, let the message be clear. Together we're stronger, we'll conquer our fear. Evangelize, hope, let the message be clear. Together we're stronger, we'll conquer our fear. Divination equipped, evangelize. With faith in our hearts, we'll rise to the skies. Oh, for them in the streets, spreading the word. Join us in the mission. Let your voice be heard. Hope for the mysteries. We're all in this fight. With love and with purpose, we'll shine the light.
Really good time tonight because we've got a lot of things to share with you and we want you to feel welcome, so just settle in over the next few minutes here. We're going to be talking about what's coming up for the month of May, and it's very exciting. I call the month of May Wheels Up because we are taking off for the Philippines. There's a lot of work that we're going to be doing, and we want to invite you to sow into what we're doing. We're reaching across generational lines. Yeah. We're integrating the generations. We've got young children right along beside young adults and teenagers. And you know what? Here at Hope for Them, we're really happy because we have a young girl that has joined our team, and she serves as our media chairman, media director,
boss,
and media boss. There you go.
The boss.
And her name is Mia Mascaro, and we're so happy to have her. You'll be meeting her also a little bit later on. And we're also thrilled tonight to have with us the Hope for Them facilitator and administrator, Patricia Pena.
Whoa.
So we have quite an audience here. We have our director, who is giving us hand signals and motions and smiles, Ivan Mascaro. And then we have the production assistant, Raquel, and our precious Ignacio Pena. Okay.
Bautista Peña.
Yeah. So
it takes a village. In this case, it takes a city.
I think about that all the time, y'all, because we always say, well, it takes a village to raise a child. And I'm like, are you kidding? It takes a village to take care of Robin Posgay. I mean, I'm like, oh my goodness, I guess that means I'm just not ever gonna grow up. I guess is what that means. But anyway,
she's special.
Yeah, with a lot of needs. So we're so excited that we get to do this. I was just thinking, wow, there's not very many people that really get to do this. And we're so blessed.
Yeah.
Us doing this live podcast, or there's a modern day term for this, but this is actually the brainchild of Yvonne. And I did not even know, y'all, this studio. Is this studio not beautiful?
I wish you could see it.
I wish you could see
Yeah.
every part of it.
Which I don't know how Ignacio got away with doing this. Taking the whole upstairs
He
floor.
took the whole.
Yeah, I don't know how Raquel's allowing this. I don't know how this is
I
going
think
on.
that there's one
Oh,
room
yeah,
that
okay.
somebody sleeps in,
Yeah.
and there's a bathroom.
And then the rest is the production.
The whole upstairs is studio production.
Studio Peña Bautista.
There's like 3 rooms of it.
Yeah.
And they were so gracious when Yvonne contacted them and said, "Hey, I've got this. I got a brainstorm." They said, "Yes, we will be involved."
Yeah,
so
amazing.
we're very grateful for that. I do want to tell you that partnerships, sponsorships. I have a real heartfelt philosophy about people that contribute to Hope for Them.
Yeah.
I was taught early on in ministry that those that sow seed and those that actually go to plant those seed, they share in the harvest. There's not a separation in heaven, so it's not like my reward is not going to be any greater or any less than anybody else's that has sown into Hope for Them. We're going to share in the same reward. But
I do want my crown. I want all of them.
I'm sure, Evelyn. And we're going to make sure you got a lot of big jewels in it,
big
too.
diamonds on it. Yeah, I do.
So we do take every gift very
Serious.
graciously with a lot of gratitude. So, Evelyn, I don't even like to say how long I've been doing this.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
at first I thought 33, but then it's 35
yes,
years. We had to alter the website.
It's 35. We're having to make adjustments on the...
Yeah, 35 years. Can you imagine that? 35 years just having Hope for Them, and just... If I feel like I've been with her 3 years, and I feel like I've been doing it for 50, I can't imagine. Yeah, But I'm glad that I get to see the harvest. I can only imagine in 35, what you've done and the lives you've changed. And the people that you all don't see here is the team that's on the ground. I think we'll have you'll get to see other people and meet, but I've gotten the meat and potatoes. I've been able to be on the ground with her. And it does take a village. It takes a lot of people. And I know, like right now in the Philippines, they're just waking up. So my little Pearl's just waking up right now. So, but yes, it's you've been doing this for a long, long time. I'm actually ashamed saying 3 years when you've been doing it for 35. Yeah.
Well, when we started, we were in the state of Coahuila, and we were in a little village called San Pedro. So Ray pulls me aside one day, and I said, "Ray, isn't this place just so awesome? I mean, it's just so wonderful." We're talking like a very bleak, dusty, hot, it's a very hot place. And he goes, "Robin, what is wrong with you?" He goes, "Why couldn't you have been called to Hawaii?"
Right? We'd all be there right now.
Yeah.
We'd stay.
And so, I'm trying to explain to him, well, it doesn't work like that. And he's like, "Oh, whatever,
Didn't he send you to the mall, too? He's like, why can't you just go to the mall and evangelize there?
Just go to the mall. And I'm like, well, that works if that's where you're called. So it was a real gutsy move that I made. But honestly, it was the best decision that I could have ever made for my life. I ran across a term this week, and it really stuck in my head. And I know that there are people out there that are listening. I know that there are a lot of people with unfulfilled dreams. I just talked to a woman the other night, and she told me, she said, I'm so glad that you go to Africa. She said, we, my husband and I, we always wanted to go to Africa, and we never made it. And I was like, oh my goodness, we're so blessed by that.
Yeah.
And there are people that identify because they've had, similar dreams and similar desires in their heart to be able to participate, what I call boots on the ground, Evelyn, and I want to encourage you that, if God is speaking to you like that, and that's not something that you don't see that is possible, just know that God works and He deals in the impossible.
We have a friend, and I have a friend. Shout out to Sherry Wilhelm. She says, "I won't do the boots in the ground, but I sure will help you in anything I can. But there's no way I'll do it." And people like that I love, that are really great donors, but also really good friends that. You see the infomercials of people, stirring the pot and feeding the children, and they're like, "Oh, I want to help somehow. I just can't do it with boots on the ground." And she's one of them. Like you're just saying, it's amazing to see people like that, that always wanted to make a difference, but we do the work on the ground, and they hang in here, and like my husband turns on the lights for us, right?
Yeah. There's not just one thing that's more important than another thing. When you're talking about a global ministry, it takes all talents. And what I've learned is that we all have transitional skills.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are people watching that are doctors, they're lawyers, they're teachers, they're nurses, they're all walks of life.
Yeah.
I think about my contact list and my donor list, and people that give. I got an attorney and
Our dentist.
I told him I need some windows welded for a building that I'm building. And so he funded all of that. And I was so grateful. But you know what? Today, I got a gift from a friend, not from this area, and it was $50.
Yeah.
And to me, that $50 is just as valuable as his $5,000.
Yeah.
Because when we put it all together
in the giant pot,
in that pot, see, little is much when God is in it.
Amen.
Amen.
Yep.
So, we'll find a place for you, and you find a place for us, for Hope for Them in your heart. Yeah. On the TV screen, you're seeing our official name is Hope for Them. There's our QR code.
Which was crazy when we first heard about QR codes. You're like, what is that? Why are we putting that up there? And I was like, don't worry about it.
I know. And now I'm saying, Evelyn, where's that QR code thing?
Now she's always asking
where's
me,
that QR code
can we put
thing?
it on cups? Can we put it on mugs, on shirts? I was like, yeah.
Put it on the shirt. Put it on a billboard.
Put it on everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're transitioning. We're trying to catch up with technology.
Yeah.
And do all these modern things here. Our website is HOPE4THEMnow.org.
Yeah.
And you can go there. You can visit that, and you can also donate through that means. But I've got a couple of questions I want to ask Evelyn.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's getting serious.
So it's getting serious now. So on May the 13th, we're wheels up. We're jetting off to the island of Mindanao in the Philippines. Y'all do know the Philippines has 7,000 islands. Okay? And we're going to Mindanao. Mindanao is pretty well known as the most dangerous place to go in the Philippines. So there's ISIS hotspots there. We've kind of dodged around them. Never really been accosted. So I'm confident our team will be waiting for us, and we'll be hopping around maybe to a couple of islands, maybe go to Iloilo and Cebu. But the main focus of our work will be done on Mindanao. In 2001, I made my first trip there, and by 2012, I had planted Fishers of Men Bible Institute. I had connected with Pastor Danny Lucia, who is an overseer of about 600 churches. So
Did he bug you so much you weren't even going to see him?
Well, no, but this was back in the day when we weren't communicating by computer. We were using handwritten airmail letters.
Did you hear that, Mia?
Yeah. And so I flew over, I did this conference. The next thing you know, we've planted Fishers of Men Bible Institute. We had about 72 graduates, and Ray got the biggest kick out of me because at 4 a.m. I have to get up and teach them on Skype. And it was so amazing because we had, among all those graduates, we had a group of people that were pastoring, but they also were degreed engineers. And so when they graduated, and you know what their assignment was for graduation? Because I'm always trying to raise the academic bar. They actually had to write a concordance over whatever book that I assigned them. I wish I would have brought one because their work was beautiful. So I told them, I said, okay, you guys have to start teaching now. I don't want to keep getting up at 4 a.m. and teaching on Skype. And they're like, oh, no, we can't teach.
And how amazing they were up 4 a.m.
Well, they weren't. It was 5 in the afternoon.
5 in the
So I'm up at 4, but at them it's the end of their day.
It? What's the secret? 4 a.m.
Yeah, but it was cool because I kept on my pajamas and I just put a suit coat on and tied a scarf around my neck and put some lipstick on, kind of
COVID
my hair,
COVID style.
And, yeah. So we had so much fun with them. That group is now the administration. They are the dean. They are the teaching staff. And what is so awesome is there's one couple, and they had a son. His name was Dan Mark, and Dan Mark went on to school, got his PhD, and he's now part of the staff of Fishers of Men Bible Institute. Amen. So I'm so thankful for that. I love it when that second generation comes along. Same thing with Beecher, our global director for Fishers of Men Bible Institute. He was 16. He was kind of techie, so he would help us stay connected because it was hard to keep a connection, and so he would keep us connected. And he went to university, came out with a marketing degree, and he's our global director. But Evelyn Herron comes along. She jumps on the bus, and off to the Philippines we go last year. Yeah. And
oh wow, it's been a year already.
Yeah, it's been a year. She's going to celebrate a year, and she had this great curriculum, and she flushed through about 150, 160 kids, and I could tell something was really stirring in you, Evelyn. And then we took off and went to East Africa, and she was like, I got to do that again. Well, we dedicated the Ray Paz-Gay Legacy Center, and we realized then that what was going on in her was a legacy Bible school camp. And she did it in the Philippines. She did it in East Africa. Now she's going back and do it again. Yes. I want you to tell us a little bit about how all that came about for you, Evelyn.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Well, we went on a trip for FMBI, Fisherman Bible Institute. And I think you were... I didn't know what we were getting into when we went to the Philippines. I really didn't. But we went as a group. I know Patricia's around here, right there. She went with us, and we went because I was called. Something about the remote shepherd is what really hits me, because you see pastors here and you see them here, and it's so easy to get online or get connected or get that support, And when you said, oh my gosh, I have something for the remote shepherd, the one that's out and about and, really doesn't get the attention, but it's sowing the seeds in the harvest. And I said, I'm in, let's go. Right. So we all went. And I think you were teaching for FMBI. You were doing it was graduation, actually, graduation for the graduates of FMBI, because you get the curriculum, you register, and you become a student, and then you graduate. And every year you go, like we did last year for graduation. But in the meanwhile, there was all these children around there. I mean, Patricia knows, I mean, I can't even tell you how it is, but it's 4 walls in a house inside of it, in an auditorium, because all of it is it Muslim?
Yeah.
Muslim. So we're sitting there, and like, they pray every 3 hours. So every 3 hours, everything shuts down and it just starts. And these children are just walking around everywhere. And some of them were actually children of the remote pastors that came. These remote pastors were coming from took one bus to another bus to another bus to make it there to graduate.
Yeah,
because they're in a hub.
About 16, 18 hours on a
bus just to come and graduate and
sleep on the floor while they
and sleep on the floor, which I felt horrible. We were going back and sleeping in a hotel while they were sleeping there, But they come as a family too, because the remote pastor, all they have out there is their family and their unit. So they came, and some of them brought their children. So I know Pastor Robin had told me, hey, look, what you're going to do is you're going to speak to the remote shepherd, because as you know me, if you know anything about me, you'll find me at church, wherever the kids are. If there's a big group of children, I'm probably right in the middle somewhere. I just love them. And you said you're going to talk to them about how you teach with the children and all this. And I said, okay. But I saw a bunch of children, and I said, no. Yes, I'm going to teach the remote pastor, but I really want to teach the child, give them a foundation, love, something that hope. I mean, really, in reality, hope, because some of these children were just running around, walking around. So we invite them over. And I know you mentioned Ray, your dear husband, and he would only go where they had hamburgers.
That's right.
Only hamburgers. He wouldn't go to Africa because they didn't have hamburgers. But he sure did go to the Philippines, because they have something called jujube, which is our McDonald's here. So here you have McDonald's, over there they have jujube, and it's like a little cricket, I think, And so I had the idea. It just birthed. I was in the hotel room, and something said, hey, how about you wake up and you teach these kids and give them hope? And how about you give them some jujube?
I mean, this was like, she comes to me and she goes, I got to teach all these kids. I'm like, good, Evelyn, because I had several people I had taken with me. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my goodness, people, they want to make sure that they're doing something. I mean, they're on a missions trip. Yeah. And, I was going for the Institute. And so it was like, and everybody just sort of finding their place. It was awesome to watch her in action.
Yeah, I really didn't ask. I just kind of came to her with the idea and said, hey, how about tomorrow I do a lesson, and we'll have them all there together. We'll have Alicia, we'll have Gurley, our team that's there, your team that you created, Beecher there and stuff, and get me a translator, right? And we're going to just give them curriculum. I think I taught the 99.
Yeah.
So what I did was just gathered them all together. We worshiped. We did a lesson, and for lunch we broke off. And I sent Kenneth, our dear Kenneth, which is probably up already, our driver. And that's a whole different story, about Kenneth. But I said, where is the closest jujube? And he goes, oh man, it's about an hour and a half ago. And I said, how awesome would it be for us to get jujube to these kids on a break after they've learned, because, some of them have an empty stomach, and I know if you have an empty stomach, it takes a while for you to grasp the information that's coming to you.
Right.
So we wanted to feed them. And I know at first you were like, wait, what do you mean you feed them? And I said, just go with it, Pastor Robin, let's do this, right? And she goes, okay, here. Actually, she gave me like the black card, and she said, here, go ahead. And she trusted me. So I said, how awesome would it be? And he said, there's some children that have never even left this street. And I said, what do you mean? And they're like, it's a street. I mean, from here to maybe 5 feet long and maybe half a mile, not even half a mile. And these kids just hang out there. They've never actually left that street. And I said, how awesome would it be for us to go get jujube? So in the morning we went, we got the hamburgers. We hid them under I think it was the floorboard of the truck, because if they would see how many jujube burgers we had. And I think Patricia has a great picture, I'll put it up on our Facebook, of us. It's a video of us hanging out the jujube hamburgers and them saying, "Foray, foray," because we wanted burgers.
I did
but
not
right
know
there,
about
that's
that.
where it was birth. It was birth of, you know what? What about taking wherever you have hubs or FMBI and doing something called Legacy Bible Camp? And you said, what? I said, yeah. Why not, while you're teaching the remote shepherd, right, and giving them the skills and what they need, let me teach their children. Let me give them hope, a new foundation, and let's run with it. And you did. You said, let's do it. So I wrote curriculum. We did it. I think we did 3 days there. And I was just hooked. So I think that's how it was birthed, in a hotel room in the Philippines. It was probably time change. It was probably 3:00 in the morning on my iPad. And I said, you know what? While she's teaching the remote shepherd, I'm going to go ahead, Lord, and teach the youth, the kids. And he said, just go knock on her door. And it's early in the morning. And I went real slow. And he goes, harder. He said, harder. And then you said, I'm coming. Who is it? It better be important, So she comes out and I said, hey, this is the plan. This is what I'm doing tomorrow. And you trusted me with that and you let me run with it. And now we did it we just came back from Ijwi Island in the DRC in Africa. And it's a whole different ball game over there. I literally wanted to take balloons and do camp and do all that. And over there, hunger is the first thing that they have. But we did it in Africa, and I was able to do 3 days, about, I would say, 800 children that we taught.
Yeah.
And it was there's so many at a mass. And I think this is what blows people's mind. They go, man, Evelyn, how do you do it? They walk by my classroom and they see about 25 students, and they would be like, and it's the way I do it is I say 30 at a time. And I think I funnel them 30 at a time, because I think it's important that each of them hear, I love you. Each of them hear the word of the Lord and know that there's hope. There's a lot of hope. And I think that's the important part. And that's where, how I did it there. And again, it's such, like you said before we got out here, I can't believe that we get to do what we do.
Well,
I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm going back
to do it again,
to the same place, to do it again. And I keep my word. I see Pearl's little face, which is, you'll see her soon. And she said, are you coming back, Thea? Are you coming back, Thea? And without a hesitation, I said, yes, I'm coming back. So I'm coming back. And I think she's just waking up, because it's probably like 7 a.m. there. So I know she'll be up in a little bit, and she'll be excited that we're taking Legacy Bible Camp back to the Philippines. And who knows where else we'll take it. The Lord is the only one that decides that.
I think Pearl sent you a message, didn't she?
Yeah, she sent me a video. And she's been communicating with me for a while since I left. And she calls me Tia Evelyn. And she sends me videos.
And Tia means what?
Aunt.
Okay.
Aunt. So I'm an honorary aunt. And believe it or not, she plays pretty much every instrument that you can imagine. The drums, the guitar, everything. And I'll tell you her story after the video. I'm going to tell you how I met Pearl in the Philippines.
Okay. Let's see Pearl.
Yeah, let's see Pearl.
Let's see her.
Come on.
She's just a beautiful girl.
Yes, she is.
Hello, my name is Pearl. I am 13 years old.
Well, I can hear her.
Yeah. There she is.
Now, Philippines. Last year, the group came for FMBI week, and with them was Evelyn. She came to teach us.
We
It's so are friends now. I can't wait for her to come again. She'll be with us to teach us and become better friends. Bye! I love you, Tia Evelyn. Hi Tia, how are you? I hope you're doing good. I hope to see you soon. God will bless you. Love you. Mwah.
Mia is our media boss.
Yeah, we call her the boss.
And I think she has a few words to share with us.
Yes, I do. Hi. So a spiritual investment is truly about how we dedicate our time, energy, and attention to what matters to God. It involves making choices that align with His guidance and values. By focusing on these important aspects, we nurture and deepen our relationship with Him. We are incredibly grateful for organizations like Hope for Them, which help us understand and embrace this investment. If you feel led to support Hope for Them, please consider donating through the link below. Together, we are preparing for a meaningful journey to the Philippines in just 14 days. Your support can make a real difference. Thank you for being a part of this compassionate mission.
Give it up for Mia. We actually conned her to do this today. Yvonne did not tell her she was going to be live, so she's like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But thank you, Mia.
You're
so
so
much.
welcome.
I'm hoping to take her with me.
One day, yeah.
Yeah, one day, very,
ready, Yvonne?
very, very soon, before she takes off and goes off to college somewhere.
Yeah.
I want her
Yeah, it is.
to go with us. You know what? I have a really good idea. I'm so look
Look at mine. Mine has lipstick on it
this.
already.
And I want to send this beautiful coffee cup to the first person that signs up for my newsletter. So you have to go on Messenger, and or you can, if you want the whole world to see your email address, you can just go on Facebook and type it in a comment.
Yeah. Just messenger her your email.
But I think it's best if you just message me your email address, and I will get this package and sent to you for signing up, being the first person to sign up for my newsletter. And now, I gotta say, my newsletters are pretty good.
Yeah, they are. This last one was really, really good.
Yeah.
You'll
So-
look forward to them. I know that.
You will look
Yeah.
forward to them.
you will.
So,
And it keeps you updated, and it keeps you just seeing your investment and seeing it grow. And these newsletters we can't have a podcast every day. I mean,
No.
it takes a lot of people. So with that newsletter, you get updates, you get everything that we're doing on the ground and everything like that. So you'll be able to get those newsletters, and you'll just fall in love with them, because they just tell you what we're doing, and keeps you updated more than just the website, and the
Yeah.
Facebook, because we do try to keep it updated. But these newsletters, what I love about these newsletters, that sometimes things just come into your path. I think I teach the 99 for the 1, and I think you always sometimes get a hold of me and say, hey, there's a need for that 1. Mm-hmm. And in that newsletter,
Yeah.
it's about
Yeah,
that need for that
it's
1,
that-
and it might just be a completely different thing. And something that you'll know about Bishop Robin is, which I'm trying to get her away, she says yes to everything. So when they call her and they're like, hey, can you help
you
out?
just don't hear the no's.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. But those newsletters really keep you updated and really tell you what we're doing. I know these newsletters, when we come back, you'll be able to see everything that we've done.
Right.
And just on our Facebook, Hope for Them, now you'll be able to see, because I think I gave you the idea of documenting the whole trip. Since we get there, what we eat.
Yeah.
Because I think even Patricia would agree. Last time they didn't have any forks or knives, so you eat with your hands. They give you gloves. So we want to document all that stuff so y'all to see it, and then in the newsletters too. And we're having an upcoming podcast too with Pastor Josh, where he'll be cooking a Filipino meal for us, and we're gonna grade it on how Filipino he is.
Yes.
Yeah, like because he's been in the country
him.
for a long time now, and it's time for him to like see how he can cook a real good Filipino meal for us, and we'll do that. But I do recommend that you do sign up for those newsletters, and then share it to people. Not only just register it if you pop it up, if you meet somebody, hey, share it with them. And that's the only way the word gets around, is by sharing your email, sharing the Facebook, sharing the Instagram.
Share tonight.
Yeah.
If you could share tonight, it would really be great.
Yeah.
One thing about the newsletters too, Evelyn, is that, we have some people that love to give to projects.
Yeah.
And we have some people that, a project, it could be the stairs that we need to build down the hill to our little secondary building. It's dangerous for our little kids on each island. And we have a lot of 3 and 4 year olds, an enormous amount.
Yeah.
And some people love that part of it. Some people love to feed the children.
Yes.
Some people love to teach the children. So what we always try to do is incorporate into the newsletter all the things that we've accomplished.
Yes.
Because as you're sowing, we're taking it and planting it, and together then we're reaping the children of the harvest.
Yeah.
So your giving is extremely important because it pushes us through the harvest fields of the earth.
Literally, we send out a newsletter on the property that you wanted to buy behind the Legacy school, and I think that email hit a lot. It hit people.
Yes.
To self-sustain themselves with that land now, and I love the newsletters. I like to see what's in your brain or brainchild, because I don't get access to these emails. Okay, like, she doesn't tell me what she's going to write, or she doesn't tell me what the newsletter's going to be till she sends it out. She'll send me a text saying,
check your email.
Check your email. Why haven't you opened it? And that's how I find out.
Well, the reason that I don't tell you what I'm going to write is because most of the time I open my computer and I stop and pray, and I get a download. And so nobody knows what I'm going to write, Evelyn, not even me.
God, I guess, right? I tried calling him, and he said, sometimes I don't know till the minute that it comes, right?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I want to give away something else. Here we have a beautiful brochure on the Philippines, and everything that we're doing, all of our information, pictures. We also have one of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So back to Messenger again. If whoever sends me their physical address, I'm going to mail you one of these brochures.
Yeah.
So go to Messenger. You can look for Robin Posgay in Messenger if you have Facebook, and I will get these mailed out to you before I go to the Philippines. And we're so excited about this trip.
Yeah.
Every time we go, we break new ground. We celebrate achievements of our students.
Yes.
And this year we will have quite a large graduation.
How many are this year?
I don't have a count on it, but I know that last year there were well over 100.
Yes.
100.
I know it was. Now 30. I know. No. Now I know. 132.
132.
You know how I know that? Because it was a makeshift printer, right? That we bugged somehow, right? And we couldn't take the certificates with us on the airplane or anything. So we got there, and this guy connected the computer to a printer, and we printed them all. And then they go, "Hey, y'all need 2 more." And me and him, I don't know how we did it, but we printed out 2 more certificates. So that was awesome. Yeah.
So,
everything is crazy when you go on the field.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going on the field, Just
Yeah.
grab your Bible.
Yeah. I mean, you really do have to be impromptu. You have to, you know, be able to adjust. You have to be flexible. You can't complain.
No complaining.
You
Don't separate.
Yeah,
Because Patricia
don't-
knows that one.
Yeah,
Don't separate.
Don't separate. And use the restroom whenever you have an opportunity.
Yes.
There's just a lot of, and don't eat the durian fruit.
Oh, no.
It smells horrible. But the best fruit is
Oh, the dragon fruit. Oh my gosh.
Evelyn fell in love.
So there's this, if you don't know what dragon fruit is, Google it, right? And it's this thing like this. It almost looks like a pineapple, like a small little pineapple. And we went up to the mountains, and we were able to get free dragon fruit and eat it, you know. It was so
free.
good.
I mean, there's boxes
they were
of
free.
it.
They were everywhere. I mean, they were growing off of pipes. They were growing off of everywhere. And so we just ate them all week long that we were there. And then I get to here, Texas City, and I go to HEB. And to your delight, I see I see some dragon fruit, but they're $5.95 each.
Evelyn would not buy one.
I said, we got these for free up there in the mountain. I said, $5, and I'm always waiting, and they're still $5.95 each. And we were able, I think we filled up, and I hate to bring this up again, but I think a lot of the group, we got a trash bag, and we filled it up with a bunch of dragon fruit, and we brought it down the mountain. So for a while there, I think for like a week, we were just eating a lot of dragon fruit. But till today, I'll call you from HEB and be like, guess how much it is today?
Yeah.
$5.95 each.
Well,
it's crazy.
We were speaking about our team in the Philippines waking up, and I just missed a call from Beecher.
Yep, they're up. And they're so excited. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see Kenneth, Beecher, Gurley.
Evidently, they have figured out where we're broadcasting at, and he must be watching. I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just look at the camera. Yeah. Beecher, if you're watching, send me a message and say I'm watching. So
yeah. And it's
oh my goodness.
I guess this last time that we went on a group a year ago, we did take a lot of pictures, and we actually had lunch with our dear friend today, and she was showing us all the pictures that we do have, but we didn't document the trip like we should have. Like, you know, because you don't get the sense of it. Sometimes you're sitting there and all of a sudden you hear, is it an alarm for prayer time for them? And it's just a whole different environment. Even the malls, everybody's wearing their jihad, you know. Right. It's very different. So being able to go in there and take the word of the Lord and give them a foundation to these children, because you really do handle the remote shepherd, and you've wrote curriculum and everything. That's completely different than what I do. But being able to go down there and do that, and I'll just give you a little why. Somebody gave me 2 bags of clothes, you know, and they're like, man, you could take this to the Philippines. And I would love to be able to take that, but they won't allow it because they'll think you're going to try to sell it and stuff like that. So it's very, very, very hard to get the word of the Lord there. I think it's a while from when you get to the hotel to you get to the center, and you see all these children just walking around.
Well, let's talk about that. So Evelyn and I are on a flight.
Yes.
It leaves at 4:44 on May the 13th.
Yes.
And we'll fly to LAX. Mm-hmm. And at LAX, we will have a very short layover, and then we'll board a flight and we'll go LA nonstop to Manila, and then we'll overnight in Manila because we're not arriving at. We'll be exhausted. In other words,
and there's the
wheels up.
The wheels up. Think about this. Being with Pastor Robin, we got we shared with this team. I think. Oh my gosh, this one's going to be 20 hours. I saw the Patricia send us the flight documentation. Just says you're going to be 20 hours in the plane. I said, wow, how amazing. Imagine what we're going to come up with in those 20 some hours, because you can't sleep. That's another thing. You'll want to sleep on the plane, but it ain't gonna happen. The Holy Spirit is working overtime.
I might have to give you extra melatonin or something.
Yeah, or something, because it's like the Holy Spirit when I'm on the field. It's last time I lost my phone in Africa. So I only had a journal and my Bible. And I think the Holy Spirit really just downloads so much wisdom to me. And not just wisdom, but wisdom for the kingdom is what I asked for. So maybe one day I'll share my journals with y'all. But it's going to be amazing. We're going to document it. You can go to Hope for Them. When you scan the QR code, it'll take you straight to the website, and you'll be able to see all the updates there. And you'll also be able to hear a little bit of your story, because we got to change it. Don't get me. It's 33 years, but we got to change it to 35 years.
Well, and you know what? They are watching us in the Philippines, so I want to send a greeting out to our team, and we can't wait to see y'all. We'll be there soon. I'm so glad that they were able to find us. Beecher, like I told you before, he was just a kid. The first time I met him, he was a little kid, and then when we started doing the Bible school online, he had become quite techy and quite resourceful.
Yeah.
And he started working for the Philippines Children's Ministry Network. And he developed a tremendous skill set there with that organization, then went on and went to university. Well, in the process of us becoming accredited in the Philippines, they pointed out that we were a little shy. In accreditation, it's its own animal, and what they're looking at is the educational level of the professors. It's very interesting because we have about 8 PhDs that are adjunct professors, so they're good with that, and we have about 5 which with bachelor's degree, but we were low in the master's degree programs. So part of our staff, along with Beecher, they enrolled, they went back to school, and they're working on their master's degree. Yeah. So it's interesting what Hope for Them does, is because this is the 3rd or 4th place that I've gone into, and there's very, very education is low, which is very common in absolute impoverished places. So we start pushing education. We start training pastors. And the Lord literally woke me up and kept downloading me with a dream about that remote shepherd.
Yes.
Okay, and I literally could feel their heartbeat. So as we go into the major cities and we find those pastors that connect with us, then we're able to raise up leaders that helps us extend to the remote shepherd. Yeah. So,
and how amazing if it's one of mine, if one of my legacy kids, and that's what I'm going for. One of my legacy kids ends up, getting there. And for me, it's little Yemen in Ijwi Island, or Pearl, where they can go to FMBI and they can get sponsored and become a shepherd and become a remote shepherd and take the word.
We already have the proof. Yeah. We have Bishop Rafael Rios in northern Mexico. Yeah. He was a pioneer student. And now he's planted a church. Oh, yeah. And he
just came back from there, didn't you? You went to go see him?
Yes. He's on the Hope for Them board. And we have Beecher, who grew up he into manhood under the umbrella of Hope for Them. Trying to think of there's a couple of other people. Alicia, Argentina Rios. She was I'm pretty sure she was valedictorian one year when she was in Fishers of Men. So,
I can't wait to see who's valedictorian this year.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dan Mark was, I think, last year or year before, and it's like the fields are ablaze with the glory of what God is doing. Amen. And I want you to be a part of that. I hope that you will go to hopeforthemnow.org, click on the donate button, and help us go, help us train, help us lead, help us teach children, help us disciple,
And thank
help
you
us
for people
build.
that have already gave and donated to just even make the trip possible.
Exactly.
The logistics is a nightmare. That's why we have Patricia.
Right.
The logistics is just a nightmare. But for the people that have, and like you said, and no amount is bigger than the other.
That's right.
And that's just, it's just amazing to see what it already has done. The people that have donated to get us over there. So now we're just gonna.
You know what, Evelyn? Do you mind if I give your cup away?
It's got lipstick on it.
Well,
no, I'll get you another one.
All right.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm going to give one more cup away. Okay, these just came into us. I love them. I think that they're absolutely beautiful. And I want this cup to go to the person that. This is going to be really good. To the person that's watching that makes a commitment to pray for Hope for Them for 30 days.
30 days. Yeah.
30-day commitment to pray for Hope for Them. So if that's you, please go to Messenger, Robin Posgay.
Is that the first one? Because all of them will commit, and then we got to print 1,000 million cups.
It's the first person.
The first person
the
that
first
commits.
person that commits to pray for us for 30 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to mail this to you.
You have no idea how prayer is
It's-
needed in the field. I think sometimes they say, well, a lot of them do come to me and say, well, I don't have much to give, But then I say, you do. You have a lot to give, and that's prayer.
I brought up,
prayer.
I brought up transitional skills a while ago, and we got so excited I didn't finish that. When I first went to the field, I went to northern Mexico, and I was raised by parents that were really unique. My dad was a deputy. We had a shrimp boat. My mom, we had about 100 acres, and my mom decided that she thought she could make a little bit more money off of it than she was making by letting cows graze on it. Yeah. So she built 24 rent houses, and she rented to the Air Force personnel stationed on Matagorda Air Force Base down in Port O'Connor, Texas. And, I learned so much. I learned how to cook from her, but I didn't learn how to bake. Mm-hmm. No, I don't bake, but I did learn how to cook.
You do make cornbread.
Well, that's just probably the only thing I bake. But I really try to keep my house straight, but I grew up with a list that was left on the table for me in the morning. Because my mom and I shared, if I was doing inside work, it didn't mean I had to do outside work. But if my mom was going to do the outside work, then I had to be inside. Well, I got old enough to work on that shrimp boat, and that was it. I was queen of the house then, because I'm getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going shrimping, coming back and going and playing on the beach, except I did have to mow the yard. So what I'm saying is that I learned a lot of skills. I knew every tool. My dad had a barn. It was full of tools. He could fix anything, build anything. Was kind of a rough end carpenter, if you get my drift. So I had all of these skills, and then all of a sudden I find myself in a foreign country, never been a missionary, didn't know anything about being a missionary, except I did. All of those skills through the years had prepared me. And when he asked me, why are you doing this? I don't understand why you're doing this. How did you even learn how to do this? And I said, well, you taught me. He was like, what are you talking about? I didn't teach you. I said, well, you taught me how to build a pump house.
Yeah.
You taught me how to shingle a roof.
We have that in common.
Yeah.
I think so. I think my dad one time for summer vacation, he said, guess what? We're going to build this swimming pool. So we were excited. So we did the cement. We did everything. I think we swam in it once, and then after that, he used it to fix cars on the bottom.
Oh, yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
he
he
could-
always had
Right.
a way to be self-sustainable.
Yeah,
in
so
any part of the world.
those transitional skills will serve you.
Oh, yeah.
And I just I just want to encourage people that are watching right now, and you don't think that there's anything that you have to offer.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. All of that knowledge that you have and the skills that you have and your personality, God put all of that inside of you, and He wants you to be available so that you can serve Him with what you have to offer. You may not have the skills that I have, but guess what? I probably don't have the skills that you do.
Yes.
So I want to encourage that there is a place for everybody. No, I don't want anybody to ever feel that they can't be a part, because you can, and you have something to bring. You have something to give. And if we could understand how fortunate that we are here in America,
Oh gosh. Yes.
we would fall on our faces in gratitude. I got a message about a month ago from our team leader in the Congo, and he told me that the M23 rebels had moved in and they had massacred hundreds of people. And he said, I found out today that Ichu Island received more than 800 orphan children. Yeah. He says, Mom, what do we do? I said, well, we'll trust God, and we'll make beans and rice, and we'll feed as many kids as we can, as often as we can. But God is our provision. Yeah. So there's people. God seems to be taking us to the most neediest people. Yeah. But here's the answer. The true answer is obedience. Obey God. Yeah. Do what He tells you to do. Yeah. Because when you deliver the gospel, you make the difference. You make a big difference.
It transforms, and it gives children hope, and it just lays a foundation. I see it every day, every Sunday at church. It's just amazing to see their eyes, and just during Easter, to tell them the story of Easter and why we celebrate Easter, and their face is just, wow, there's somebody out there that loves me and protects me and watches over me. And the fact that we came and told them about that person that died for us and is protecting us, and you're not alone. You have hope. And I think that's the most amazing part. And that's why I love Legacy Bible Camp, and I love that you let me just run with it, because we were going to have so much fun. We already designed, I think this morning I sent the logo, so we'll be designing the shirts, all that. She don't ask me how, but we're going to get it done. We're going to get the shirts designed. They'll have Legacy Bible Camp on them, and every kid's going to get one. And we're praying for Jujubee to be open, because we don't know if it's going to be open. It's, again, people forget. I always forget. I go so spoiled from here in America. I go so spoiled. Oh, yeah, they'll have ice. Oh, yeah, we'll find this.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, there's air conditioning. Oh, yeah. And then I get there, and it's like, oh, the real world over here. We are spoiled. I think America is very spoiled. We are very spoiled, because
I'm trying to think about how I can get my Keurig into my coffee pot.
No. So all instant coffee, and in the Philippines it's called cocoa.
Yeah.
So it's like a bean coffee, and it's almost like really, it's chocolate actually, and it comes from a tree, and it's amazing. So we travel with our own coffee that we know. She travels with a white bag of white powder, and it's creamer.
It looks like
it's so funny for us to travel like that. But again, I just want you guys to, if you have the QR code, log in, go to Hope for Them, the Facebook, send us a message. If there's anything you guys want to know, send us a message. Anything we can do, send us a message, even if you just saw this, so we can pray over you guys, because that's a big thing that we do. We pray over everything we take, everything we do, and prayer changes things. And just let us know what we can do for you guys too.
And share. please share
it. Yeah, share it.
It's being recorded, and it's on YouTube.
Oh.
So, and we have a YouTube platform, and I'm sure that they'll put that up on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm sure they already have, and you've seen that.
Yeah.
So we're on YouTube.
Yes.
You can find us on Instagram.
Yes.
And there we are. Look at that, at Hope for Them 1 on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
So I just want to thank everyone for watching tonight, and I
Thank
want
you,
to speak
guys.
a blessing over you.
Yes.
I pray that God will multiply every seed that you sow, that He will use you to be His hands and feet, that you will make a difference in someone's life, that you will want to make a difference, and that whenever you go into your community, into your marketplace, into your commerce,
Yes, Lord.
that you'll have it in your
Thank you,
heart to
Jesus.
take hope.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
Hope, it transforms lives. And you may see someone in need, and you know, a cup of coffee, or even just a cookie, or just a handshake. Just let people know that you're glad that you met them.
Amen.
Because when we invest in others and we're concerned about others, God is concerned about us, and He rewards the investment. If it's a handshake, if it's a smile, if it's $100, if it's a lift down the highway, whatever the Lord would lead you to do, we want to mobilize people so that the world knows Christ, and that's what we're doing. So God bless you, and we'll be back really soon.
Yes.
But during the month of May,
Pray for me. I'll be with her 20 hours on an airplane. Or
We're-
pray for me.
yeah.
For both of us.
yeah. So during the month of May, look for us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because we are going to be posting. So God bless you, and it was wonderful to be with you
Love
tonight.
you, Pearl. See you soon. Love you guys.
Yeah. In every heart, there's a light to shine. Hope for them ministries. One step back.